Hello, I'm Tahiera Monique Brown, and this is Living True and Truly Living, where we have real people that tell real stories about real issues. And in our show today, we're going to be talking to three women that talks about memory loss, Alzheimer's, and stroke. Come back and join us. And I'm here with Cola Cobbs, Carol Clark, and here we go again.
I'm Belinda Lyons.
Belinda Lyons, and that's what this show is about, is how do you care for someone who has memory loss or a long-term illness. And all four of us are dealing with those issues or have dealt with those issues. And the situation with Cola and I is Cola was in a coma, and when Cola came out of coma, Cola had a stroke. And coming out of that stroke, Cola dealt with memory problems. And with Carol and with Belinda, they are caregivers to family members that have Alzheimer's. And in my situation, I was in a coma before, and I live with amnesia every day. And it's a struggle for me to remember things, as you see. You know, so as people get to know me, they also get to know what I don't know. So what makes this an interesting show, with you, Cola, being so young, and me being where I am, and you all dealing with people that are going through this in long-term illnesses, this is going to make for a very interesting show. So, can you tell me a little bit about what you're dealing with your father? Because after we met the first time, you met me about my book.
Absolutely.
And I was telling you about my uncle who had dementia.
My dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's the beginning of 2008. Mm-hmm. My mom passed 6 months later. For that period of time, he seemed to be okay. Mm-hmm. This year, April, he took a turn for the worst. His dementia became very apparent to everyone. And, you know, living with older parents, you'll know they are very independent. Mm-hmm. Took a long time for us to convince my dad to come live with us. And it's been interesting. He sometimes recognized the fact that he does not remember things. Mm. Then there are times where he is so sure that he remembers everything, and you're the person who has problems with remembering what's going on. And so it's been an interesting dynamic for me and my family to be caregivers to my dad. It alters your entire life.
It does.
It does. It really alters your entire life. When the child becomes
the caretaker
of
the parent.
Absolutely. And you're changing roles, and it's not a comfortable place to be.
It's not.
And so every day we're learning how to deal with it.
And Carol, now you know, Victor was telling me some portions of your story, and you're already getting teary-eyed. I don't know if I might make it. No. Tell me a little bit about what you're dealing with.
You know, mine is not sad at all, really. It's been a long journey. My mother transitioned this year. I mean, she, you know, I lost her in June of this year, but it was a 10-year journey with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And, you know, I can relate to Belinda's situation. It takes me back to the early to mid stages of her decline. And, you know, it was a very dramatic role reversal, because my mother had this indomitable spirit. You know, she was so independent and so self-reliant, and sort of a critical parent. And I'll just note that, because, you know, we all wanted to be pleasing in her eyes. And,
but don't we always want to be that way anyway, especially if we have good parents?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so she was that gold standard of a person, and we never measured up, really.
Oh, you measure up. I mean, don't she measure up to you?
Absolutely.
But her illness gave us all an opportunity to heal our relationships with her, and to care for her, and to be nurturing to the person in our lives who was the critical parent. So it was an interesting journey, and you know, I had to come to terms with it, because I'm the youngest of 5. I was the only one not married, no children, and I thought it was pretty unfair for me to be her primary caregiver. you know, because I thought, you know, there's so much I haven't done in terms of, you know, creating my family. But, you know, she was my family. And
You're
so,
amazed by what God have you do when we least expected. You know, and Cola, you know, we're going to take a moment in a few minutes and we're going to talk a little bit about you and where you fit in all of this. But then I think we'll share our journeys together just a little bit, okay? We'll be right back after this commercial.